Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another ManDem United podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. So please keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United related, please. It is later than scheduled. Obviously, we normally get this at 4:30 p.m. UK time, but I was on the move. I was traveling. So that's why you are getting it later than scheduled, people. But we're here. My brother from the West Coast is in the building as well, Eddie. What you telling me, family? You good?
Oh man.
We got a lot
Oh
to
man,
discuss on
man.
that.
I'm
I know.
good. You know what? I'm good. I'm good. You feel me? Energy is good.
Love that.
But damn, bro. Yesterday was a hell of a day, man. Yesterday was
Yes,
a hell of a day.
yes. We gonna get into all of yesterday because there was a lot that went on within that game. I know you've got plenty to say on it. I've got plenty to say on it. I've got a lot to say about the reaction. You know what I'm saying, from the United fans. Well, some United fans, the reaction from
Yeah.
rival fans as well. So for those that don't know who are under a rock, Manchester United drew 2-2 in the first leg against Sevilla after being 2 goals up, being comfortable, even though we didn't play too well. And then injuries hit, and then two deflected goals. Bear in mind, people, two deflected goals is then what has cost Manchester United the win in a tie that should be over. Very similar to how I felt about the Barcelona tie when we played them in the first leg. We drew 2-2 all, ironically. But
Mm.
before we get into all that, continue to bump up the likes, people. You know what I'm saying? And that we've already hit double figures. Please share this across all the socials and subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV as well. Hit the notification bell when you subscribe as well. I'm looking here. Yeah, man, you lot continue, man, to support in the manner in which you have as well. Let me run. Please keep all your comments, questions, Manchester United related, and of course, if you super chat, we'll get straight to it as well, people. We will get straight to it as well. Big up, yeah, you lot got plenty to say in the chat. Jesus.
Yeah. Shout out
So
to
yeah,
everybody in the chat.
facts. Big up Daredevil. Let me see. Big up to Daredevil, who's staying. Like, I'll just star some of the best comments, and we will get to. 'Cause I'm sure Eddie's got plenty to say. Big up to Zeppi as well. Every single time. Big up Jesse. Big up Stephanie G. Dennis the Great as well. Ravi also as well. Play simple. Malcolm also in the building. But yeah, you know what? We'll start there. We'll start with you, Eddie. I know there's going to be plenty to say. Give us your
Mhm.
thoughts on the game.
Just unlucky as hell.
Talk about it.
Just unlucky as hell from top to bottom. That's the second most disappointing game of the season, and not for anything pitch related, but for everything that is going to affect us as a team moving forward. Um, you talk about who we lost for at least 3 weeks, and if I was the manager, I'm not even bringing him back. Um, First off, stay strong, Butcher. Um, and I think he spoke to it, and this will get into my initial point of the subs. Um, I think he spoke to it a couple weeks ago when he said that players aren't made to play this many games in that short amount of time. And
Fez.
these guys were thugging it out. These guys were thugging it out week in, week out. Leacha, every time you need him, he's there. Varane, every time you need him, he's there. Rashford, every time you need him, he's there. Um, and I think what we saw with those injuries is just wear and tear. Playing too many matches and
Non-contact and all that.
non-contact. Both of them are pretty much non-contact. And that's why it sucks, man. I think performance-wise, it was like a 5.5 to a 6. I was impressed by Sabitzer, of course. I was impressed by Anthony. I was impressed to a large extent by Juan Bissaka and what he was able to do out there. But I think, Casemiro showed the rustiness. I think Bruno was okay. It's just, again, I'll never be with his decision making. And I think that this is going to be a real telling time for a lot of not only players, but a lot of fans, because these guys are going to be put on a stage where they have to perform. And if they don't, it will be glaring to everybody watching. Sorry for the beep. I'm still at work, people. But yeah,
You'll
I
have to
just
deal.
to keep it clean, keep it concise. Like the injuries hurt. The goals are so fluky. Like I'm with you. It reminds me a lot of what happened between us and Barcelona. I think we still have enough quality to go over there and get a 2-0 win, hold a 2-0 win. I think it was just that one, it's just a couple lapses, and we were playing with 10 men. Yeah, man. Like I don't think even I'm gonna be honest. If and this is gonna sound crazy coming from me, as long as we put Shaw at center back, I think we can survive.
The wildest thing is, Eddie, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah, right? Like
I agree with you. I actually agree with you, and I
yeah,
can't
go
believe
on,
I'm
go
saying
on
it.
with that. Go on with that because I'm cool with everything I had to say. So yeah, go ahead, Cook.
No, it's cool. I was just saying, I
Yeah,
agree
not
with you.
because that's all I
Yeah.
got. Like that was what I was gonna finish with. Like we're at a point now where what's up, United for Life? We're at a point now. What's up, Taza? Everybody in the chat. We're at a point now where we have to drastically, I think, change the way we approach defending because of like who we have in there. And if it's Lindelof versus and Maguire versus 9 and 4, which it probably looks like, I'm okay with that because I don't think 9 and 4. I think that's their level. I think they're 9 and 4 players, the both of them. So I think we should be okay. I think we have enough in quality to get something. So yeah.
No, I hear you, fam. I was just reading the comments because there's so
Mm-hmm.
much like to say and speak on in regards, like I said, to the actual game itself.
Yeah.
Then the response to like from rival fans, well, response from some rival fans, the response from some fans as well. Because
Yeah.
and you like I said, get your questions in because I got plenty to say on this as well.
Yeah.
But I'm starring the best questions, so don't worry about that. Like Mo saying this, season over. Mo, you're my guy. You know this. You know this. You know what I'm saying? One done said it.
Yeah.
Our season is over, people. No, it's not.
No, not at
Our
all.
season's not over. Mm-mm. Is it?
Like people have to take a look at our schedule.
Yes. Like, is it a bad result? Yes. Context wise, it's even a worse result. The injuries that makes it. The injuries are key. We don't know how long Varane's going to be out for.
Varane is 3 weeks. They're saying at least,
Okay.
and Leach
I'm
is
sure.
like
Yeah,
6
he's
weeks.
season. Yeah, so
Yeah.
basically, so Martinez is the season. Big blow, no doubt about it. Varane 3 weeks means he misses the second leg of this game, the semi-final of Brighton. And then he'll be back if we make no, not even if when we make the semi-final of the Europa League, he'll be back fit and playing. I know Shaw's back in training as well, so that's a bonus.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? All it like so there's so much to say. I don't even know where to start because there's good and then there's bad. But let me just clarify this. No, the season is not over. You know what I'm saying? In that the season is not over in the slightest. We should still get past Sevilla. Let's start there. That shit. Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? They are a shocking outfit. We did our best to hand them the game, and then they still didn't win. Even at 2-0 up, I'm on the watch along with Eddie. I'm on the watch along with Tazo, and I'm saying the performance is bad. But because of that, the stats, that what's the word I'm looking for? The graphic in the top left-hand corner. Shout out to Peter because he said this, and I've been using the phrase ever since. Results-based analysis, and that's what a lot of people do. Whether it's content creating, whether it's in the comments, whether it's on social media, whether it's in WhatsApp groups, and I've noticed that because that performance right there. And Eddie, you let me know if you agree or disagree with me on this. That performance we had against Sevilla is not too different to the performances we had against Newcastle or the performance we had against Fulham in the FA Cup. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think
so all three of them not good enough. Nowhere near the
yeah.
level of standard required. But
For
yeah,
our standards, I think they
go on.
were good enough to beat the competition we had in front of us, not
Yes.
named I think we lost to who? To
When we
Newcastle.
lost to
Yeah.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
So here's the thing on that, people. Like legit, and you said it there in regards to the competition. And we're not playing the best of the best competition. We do not need to be at our best to win this competition. That's why I've been so confident all throughout the entire season. Because these teams are not that good. You know why, people? Because it's the Europa League. It's the second tier European competition. If we were in the Champions League, I'd be like, geez. If we play like that against the Champions League side, we will get embarrassed.
Yeah.
That level of performance. If we give up the ball at home to any team of any quality, we will get packed 4-5-6. Easy. That's how bad Sevilla were. Sevilla were that bad that not only could they not create or not score no goals, the 2 goals they scored were deflected goals. So I'm not letting 2 deflected goals change my thought process on them and the tie. All they did was reinforce how bad they are. Because we did everything in our power to give them the game. Everything. And they still couldn't win. I'm saying in that. So that's why I'm expecting Manchester United, even without Martinez, even without Varane, to go and do the business. However, that's the plus point. The negative point is I got fooled by them 2 good performances. I thought we'd turned the corner. And when I said the 2 bad performances, I'm talking about the Everton game. No, the Brentford game was first and the Everton game. Because after Newcastle, it was like, all right, cheese. Because we've been getting away a lot of the season in plenty of games where the result has not matched the performance. But because people only look at that graphic in the top left-hand corner, it's like, all right, we're winning games, it's all well and good. No, eventually, poor performances or below average performances or average performances or above average performances will catch up with you. Whether that's by quality on the other side or just luck. The reason why I'm not sat here complaining about the 2 deflected goals is because you make your own luck. If Malacia deals with that, and he wasn't good the entire game, but I'm still a fan of Malacia, if he deals with that, the deflection doesn't happen. All right, we went down to 10 men, it is what it is. But the game should have been out of sight before that Sevilla player picks the ball up on the right-hand side, crosses it in, a man heads it wide, it hits Maguire's head and goes in. But the game should have been out of sight. I always speak about what Manchester United need to do. Never mind slices of luck. Were we extremely unlucky with the goals? In the term of how the goals happened, yes, but we should have never been in that predicament. That's on us. We were 2-0 up, cruising, and we were 2-0 up, not playing well. We was decent in the first half. In the second half, we were woeful. Couldn't keep the ball. And I've been speaking about the importance of certain players. And I've said it before. When I say there's 4 players I would keep, there's a reason for that. Like to go and win a league. Look how far off we are. And we're playing Sevilla. Again, they are a shocking outfit. If we go out to them, I don't care. Martinez will be missing, Varane will be missing, Rashford will be missing. Even if Casemiro and Eriksen will be missing, even if they were, I'd be absolutely livid if we get knocked out by them. I don't care the fact that it's in Spain. Don't give me no heritage because they're a shocking outfit. And when we were 2-0 up and cruising, nobody was talking about heritage. Let's not do that. Let's not act like if they would have cut us apart and showed quality going forward and we just couldn't live with them, I go, you know what? I called this wrong. They're a quality outfit. You know what I'm saying? Their results and league position don't match their quality. There's a reason they're 5 points off relegation because they're a relegation level side. That's awful. They were absolutely horrific, but so were we. We was awful. And that's why I want to talk about the quality of these players not being good enough. It doesn't take, I keep saying the same phrases over and over again. It doesn't take a poor performance for me to go, these players are not good enough. There's a reason why I say there's 4 players I would keep in terms of the lineup to go and win a league title. There's a reason why I say the majority of these players are squad players. There's a reason I say I would push the majority of these players off a cliff. And people are like, why are you so harsh on players and da-da-da? Because of performances like that. De Gea. Not all on him. De Gea didn't make no mistakes for the goals. But look at his playing out from the back. Look how that cost us. Wan-Bissaka, Eddie mentioned it. Wan-Bissaka did okay. He did decent. I have no complaints with his performance. But Wan-Bissaka at best is just good. But good is not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Malacia, who I've rated all season, I'm not going to turn on him. He wasn't good. Even outside of the mistake, he wasn't good. But we need to, when I say we need 2 new fullbacks and people start talking about priorities, there's a reason for that. I don't hear that bullshit about, we need to prioritize this. No, we need to improve everywhere. Look at what our fullbacks lack. What did our fullbacks give us? You know what I'm saying in that? What were our fullbacks giving us? Wan-Bissaka was defensively good, cool. Going forward, he was cool. Yeah. Malacia, even at his best, defensively is good. going forward is okay. That's not enough. When we start looking at fullbacks teams we're chasing, look at their fullbacks. Look at what Trent did to Zinchenko. We don't have a fullback who can do that. We don't. All right, Reece James got cooked by Vinicius Jr., but we've seen Reece James impact games for Chelsea. We've seen Cancelo impact games for Manchester City. Go on, fam. Go
even
on.
In the Chelsea, not to let you keep cooking. Even I was going to say, even in the Madrid game, he was probably their best outlet. Reece James. He was probably their best creator in that game against Real Madrid. So
the crazy part is when they went to Madrid, and even though they got packed, and it was funny when they was leading the game. I think it was Alonso who scored one. Loftus-Cheek was playing well as well. My point is, fullbacks are very key to what we do. Then you look into the midfield. Casemiro, okay, he wasn't good, but he's clearly not much sharp. So you see that. Sabitzer was decent, not really no complaints. Bruno. For all the people who are like, yo, flawless, why'd you always get onto Bruno, this, that, and the third? Look no further than that game. And it's a shocking outfit. Stand up and be counted. There was 2 or 3 times where he got caught on the ball, and it was just him not being agile.
Couldn't do anything. Yeah,
and I said it, I think, on the watch along. I said,
you made that a point a lot of times.
Yeah. I said, how am I older than you, not a professional, and I'm more agile than you? This shouldn't be the case. I'm older than Bruno, people. How old's Bruno? 28? Do you know what I'm saying? 27, 28, something like that. So I'm older than Bruno, people. And it's not no couple years that I'm older than Bruno, and I'm more agile than him. He's a professional athlete. And this is why I criticize him so heavily, because of games like this. Started off well. Great assist for the Sabitzer goal, the first one. Then what? Someone tell me what he did. What did he do? Stand up and people could say, oh, well, the whole team played shit. Cool. But he's a part of the team, and people will tell me, and this is the Bruno fans, he's the best part of the team. He's one of our better players. So if he's one of our better players, I expect more from him then. I was even shocked by his performance. I didn't even criticize him. I criticized him at times when he lost the ball, but I'm saying overall, because he's just not good enough. Bear in mind, people, we are playing in the Europa League. Europa. Not Champions League. Europa League. We are playing second-tier competition. We are chasing top 4. We're not aiming for the title. And we're not aiming for the title where the levels go up. We're not in the Champions League where the levels go up. We're top 4 and Europa League. And we're not even that in terms of quality. And that's why I give Ten Hag full credit. Anthony, again, bright, but not enough. Not enough. Yeah, he hit the bar, and great outlet. That's one thing I'll say about Anthony. Fantastic outlet. Great ball carrier, but I need more. But I'm not going to completely criticize him because it's your first season. Sancho. Flat. Flat. I need more. Flat. And this is why I say I don't defend him anymore. Me and Saint was having a conversation about him yesterday. And I said, I wouldn't trust Sancho away at the Bernabeu. And he said, basically, you're saying he's not good enough. And I'm like, pretty much so. That's it. Martial, I can't get onto Martial the same way I never get onto Weghorst when he was playing up top, because when the ball went up to Martial, he did everything you could ask. He just never got a ball. I can't criticize him for receiving no service. If the ball was going up and it was bouncing off him and he miscontrolling it and misplacing passes, I'd go, that's on Martial. Everything he did, I liked. But we couldn't get the ball up to him. We couldn't get the ball to him. That's what it is. Yes, Marcel, I will deny their heritage. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen these men get packed by West Ham last season. And at 2-0, nobody went talking about Sevilla's heritage. They scored 2 deflected goals. Like, let's not.
Good, Sally Sell.
But yeah, before I continue, there's over 50 of you lot locked in. Let's continue to bump up the likes. Right? We way short on the likes. What's going on? Only 25.
Get the likes up, people. I know y'all rock with us because y'all engaged in the chat. So let's hit them likes.
Yes. And that's it. Over 60 of you lot now in there. Big up, man. Continue to bump up the likes. Continue to subscribe. And that's what it is. And I'm looking, and then I see people criticizing Ten Hag's substitutions. All right, you can say they're at the wrong time. Look at the players he brought off the bench. Where is the quality? Take Eriksen out of it. Eriksen, cool. Eriksen's a quality.
Right.
Weghorst, Palestri, Alanga, Maguire. What are we doing here, people? What are we doing? You rate any of those four like that? Palestri unproven. Veghorst not good enough. Maguire not good enough. Alanga not good enough. And when I say not good enough, they're nowhere near good enough. Palestri, I'll give a blight to because I've just not seen him. So I can't really say he's good. He's not. Unproven is a fair assessment of him. We all know Maguire's not good enough. We all know Alanga's not good enough. We all know Veghorst's not good enough. What are we doing? And then an unproven 21-year-old. And then you're bringing on a rusty Eriksen as well. Like, that's our team. People say, "Oh, you're a one-man team." No. We're a five-a-side team. Martinez, Varane, Eriksen, Rashford, Casemiro. We're a five-a-side team. If those five are not at it or not playing, if they're not at it or not playing, we struggle. I'm saying Rashford got injured. Casemiro's not match fit. Eriksen's not match fit. Varane went off. Martinez went off. And how did we look? Against a relegation side. Against a side battling relegation. Who were there for the taking. And I'm like, why are we giving them the game? And we tried to give them the game. How many clear-cut chances did the Sevilla create? None. They created no clear. There's not one point where they carved us apart. Even their 2 goals were deflected, and that's not me taking away from their goals. I'm just pointing out their lack of quality. There's no pace on the break.
Yeah,
there's none of the players you look at and go, yeah, I'd take him. Oh, he's a quality. Or he's a good youngster. Oh, yo, who's this guy? Who's this prospect? Who's nothing? Nothing. Bland. Can't even call him tryhards.
No, they don't deserve the title.
Yeah, they even tryhards. And we still gave them the game. Still. And that being said, we drew. And that goes back to my original point of the season is not over. People talking about, oh, there's no cups. No, we should still win this competition. Because we're still more than good enough to win this competition. The sky is not falling.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like, we 100% have more than enough. But again, this is when people are like, why are you so harsh on certain players? Look no further than that game. How many poor performances or below average or average performances do Manchester United need to put in before the penny drops and people realize that these players are not good enough? I gave players time. Maguire was watching a clip of me From a Third Eye View, I think it was 3 years ago. Yeah, it's 2020. Shout out to JV. Shout out to JV. Shout out to Stroh. And I was talking about McTominay and Maguire and these players and Lindelof like being good squad players. But then after time, you have to go, right, these players are not good enough. That is nothing wrong with changing your mind, people. It's like people stick to it and say, right, if I call him a good player, I will forever call him a good player. No. I can call someone a good player, and then if they perform poorly for 2, 3, 4 years, you know what I'm going to call him? A poor player. Same way for a poor player. If Bruno manages to turn his form around, I use him as an example, and starts flying from now to the end of the season, and next season he's consistent, you know what? I go, yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. And to Marcel said, for example, if Real Madrid had a shocking team, we still couldn't deny their heritage and what they achieved in the Champions League for years. You get what I mean? Real Madrid have never won the Champions League with a poor team.
Yeah, I don't even think they've never know what a poor team is.
They've never won it. They've won it with teams that aren't as good as their previous teams. That man had Benzema, Vinicius Jr., Modric, Cruz, Casemiro as a 5. Because if there's all this heritage, why did they go 12 years without winning it? Because their team was shit. What are we doing here? Manchester United have Premier League heritage. We've gone 10 years without winning the Premier League because the team is shit. You need quality. Give Real Madrid, let Real Madrid have me, Eddie, and others on the pitch. They ain't winning no Champions League. What are we doing? Now, let's not, because like I keep saying, at 2-0, nobody went talking about Sevilla's heritage. It was Sevilla are bad. That's what it was. But like I say, if you don't want to say that, cool. Neil says, do you lay the blame on the manager or player with Sevilla results or a combination of both players? We're 2-0 up at home.
Players.
Yeah, go on, Eddie. Go on.
Yeah, and I think for people, this is the thing that I don't understand. We've had results like this since before Ten Hag was there, and yet Ten Hag is the one to blame. How, people? How? Ask yourself. Yeah, they're playing better, but like Flawless said, some of these players just aren't good enough to hold the fort down without the five-a-side team that we continually praise. And when you look at how our team developed yesterday, it was Maguire, it was Bissaka. To an extent, the midfield wasn't that terrible. I think you put Bruno in there as well with those other three the other two that I just named. And it's pretty much we're relying on Ollie players to this day. And that was one of the more frustrating periods of our entire Manchester United history because of the way they could not finish the game. They'd either come back from a 2-0 lead or they'd give up a 2-0 lead. It was like clockwork. And so for me to sit here and actually hear people talk about what Ten Hag should have done, what he should have done. No. A part of being a manager is being able to protect your players from themselves. Like I just mentioned, those brothers have been running on fumes for weeks. We've played the most games out of anybody in a European competition. When you're 2-0 up against a Sevilla who has given you no indication that they know where the goal is, you hold it down. You're like, okay, you know what? I can send you man up in there and we can finish out this game. Mind you, he still kept on Varane and Martinez with all those subs. It was only until the injury to Varane that Martinez was still out there.
Yeah, Martinez was still out there. You right.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. The manager can only do so much with what he has. At the end of the day, we play in high-level European competition. Talent will matter at some point in time.
Yes.
It truly will. And what we're trying to accomplish, the level of talent we have, it does not match. Y'all want to blame everybody but some of these players. Y'all want to blame again.
Eddie, say that again, please. Please.
They
for
want
the
to
people
blame
in the back.
everybody but these players. And it's a good thing Luke Shaw wasn't out there because then y'all would really look foolish. But now, because of how dire we are in talent, we have to rely upon a Luke Shaw. Like, people, I don't know what more you want from this manager. He's giving you all he can. Tactics and the execution of those tactics are two totally different things. Shout out to Pops. He always told me, I can take the cow to the well to get some water, but I can't force it to drink.
Absolutely.
Ten Hag can set us up as perfectly as he possibly could think to. But if you have players who aren't capable and who haven't shown you they are capable of executing, then what's the point? What's the point? Well, the point for him is I'm instilling a mentality. So even if you can't do what I'm asking of you, you better damn near be close. That's what he's done this entire season. I know it's YouTube, I'm going to be careful, but he's made chicken salad out of chicken shit, pretty much.
That's fine. Yeah.
That's it. That's what it comes down to. Like,
I said he pulling rabbits out of hats, but yeah, same thing. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It's international. We understand the principle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't get. He's the reason we have a trophy. I can't. You think I could go to these players and be like, yeah, these players are the reason we have a trophy? Absolutely not. He's the reason our best players are here. He's the reason we've totally changed our expectations of this team this season.
Facts.
Some of y'all was really talking about trophy and title in 21, knowing at the beginning of the season, y'all wouldn't want us in 7th. Y'all said we're 7th, 5th, 6th. You know what I'm saying? But now y'all saying, oh, we should be having the trophy, we should having the trophy. What y'all gotta find the ground and center yourself in it, people. Because it's getting a bit ridiculous. Like, we can't have these one day we're way up here after a result, another time it's way down here. I'm seeing season is over. Season ain't over if you got some pride. If you really got some pride, season ain't over.
No, season's definitely not over because we're still chasing top. Like, people cast that. We're still chasing top 4. That's not changed. FA Cup has not changed. Is it tougher now because of Martinez and Rand's injuries, yes, and Rashford's injury, of course. But can we
Right.
get past Brighton? Yes,
Absolutely.
we can. I'm not saying we will, people. Is it going to be a tough game? Yes. But if we perform to a good level, we can beat Brighton.
Because here's my thing, Flawless, with
Mhm.
our talent level, right?
Mhm.
Because when I see our talent level, it's not United level standards,
No.
right? Is it a little bit underneath that? Yeah, a little bit, right? And that for me doesn't give you an excuse to lose to a Brighton at any point in time.
Yes.
Who any other team you could think of that's not that upper echelon? Like, okay, there's 3 teams,
The
honestly,
teams around
in the
us.
league that
Mhm.
if we lose to, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll take that because they got us. It's the ones Newcastle, City, and Arsenal. It's just those 3 that are ahead of us that I'll say, you know what? If we somehow match up with them, if like we match up with City in the FA Cup final, as much as I want us to win, I'm looking at the way they're playing right now, and
Yeah,
it's scary.
yeah. It's a long day, man. Long
It's a
fight, man.
long
Long
day,
fight.
right? But then if I go to the Europa League and I'm seeing Sevilla, I'm
Yep.
seeing Juventus with Allegri and a 38-year-old fucking Angel Di Maria scoring worldies for them to win 1-0. I have absolutely no grace to give. You get the job done. Feyenoord, Roma, and these other teams on the other side of the bracket. Oh yeah, you have no excuses.
Bayer Leverkusen,
Bayer
USG.
Leverkusen, like that's imagine. I think we sold what's that brother's name? We sold a right back to Bayer Leverkusen.
Oh, Fosu Mensah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who else Bayer Leverkusen have got? Cho. Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's over there.
So this is what I'm saying, people, and I'll finish with this. You look at the rest of our Prem fixtures. The toughest game we have is probably coming up is Spurs away. Like, listen to who I just
Spurs.
said, people.
I'd say Spurs and Brighton away. I put Brighton above that, but I hear your
Okay,
point.
those two.
Yeah.
For real, people, we can't handle those 2. And then here's the thing: if we can't handle those 2 Flawless, it goes to our point.
Yeah.
It goes to our point. So for me, I'm not here for I don't want people's tears. I don't want nobody's pity. I really have no what I'm saying. I really have no patience. No patience for the fuckeries and the right people not being held accountable. Because if y'all want to come at Ten Hag before you come at these players, miss me. I'm usually, I'm better than Flawless. Flawless will cook you. And he'll cook you to the point where you don't even want to show up no more. I might give you some grace. In this point, I'm not having it. I'm not doing it with y'all. So that's my thing with this whole conversation that happens with our fans. Look, it ain't the manager, bro. That's it. That's the end of my whole thing. It ain't the manager. The manager is not involved with this fuckery going on this pitch. Maguire in the header. I mean, I wanna call it his luck, but I just feel like that's him showing his technical ability for us again. Again, the Malacia goal. That's the thing with Malacia. I just feel like sometimes he gets lost in the atmosphere. And what I mean by that is like he forgot where he was. He forgot who was around him. Like, you have to know.
There's a runner. Alanga told him though. Alanga was like pointing. Alanga told him.
It's just like you have to know, but you have to have a certain level of not even that Alanga should tell you. You've been a dog. We seen you run from end line to end line chasing down balls. Pause. Now you want to slow down and give Jesus the opportunity to just kick it across? Come on, bro. You're better than that. You're better than that. I'm sure the manager's telling him that as well, but I need him to start.
Absolutely.
I already got a deal with Maguire. I'm not here for Linda and Maguire. I'm not here for that. You know who they remind me of? You remember, you know the Simpsons, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember how Maggie had them 2 sisters?
Did one of them have one eyebrow?
Yeah. They got like that weird. That's what they remind me of. Like, oh, y'all just come up, dude. Y'all just came through to fuck up the party. Y'all ain't come to help.
Are you talking about Maggie or Marge?
Marge, yeah, Marge had her two sisters come through.
Patty and Selma.
Exactly. Ain't offered not a goddamn thing but negative vibes.
Yeah, they were hella negative.
They were hella negative, right?
They were negative.
That's what I'm saying. That's who they remind me of. Them two just come through fucking up the party like you say, oh, here they go. Oh, here you go.
Yo,
ain't nobody told me nobody was home. You know, like, yeah, Stephanie just chain smoking indoors. Everybody getting the second hand. Like, nah, fam, I'm not here for none of that.
Around the baby, you know, they're smoking around their niece,
smoking around the kids,
smoking around Maggie,
Got Maggie blowing O's. Come on, man, that's what they remind me of. So,
oh my God,
I can't have them both playing, dog. I gotta stick with Malacia. So my back four, my known improved back four is probably Malacia, Shaw, McGuire, Wan-Bissaka. Yep. And I just gotta roll with that. And I gotta hope that we practice a bit more discipline with keeping the ball. And to that I end on this point, keeping the ball is tough when you got a goalkeeper like my dog out there, and he had one good pass, and that was it. The rest, brother, was scared as hell in between them sticks, bro. He had, you know what it is? It was a textbook De Gea like kind of thing, where he has great saves, and then he gives the ball right back to the other team so you can make another great save. Yeah,
no, the Patty and Selma thing took me out. That's what they are. Because I was thinking about it. All the times I watched The Simpsons show, they just came through hella negative energy.
Negative.
Just bad that. I'm gonna start calling people Patty and Selma, yo.
They fucking up the whole party, my boy.
Anytime, man. Like The Simpsons is, you get what I'm saying, is a joyful show. All the characters are energetic and colorful, and there they are, just miserable. But yeah, you lot continue to get your questions in as well. Continue. Big up for the super chats, HK, and I'm gonna get to them both as well.
Shout out HK, hope you well out there, my boy.
Big up. We are at 41 likes. You lot, get us up to 60 likes because over 80 of you lot in the building. Big up. Over 80 of you lot in the building. So let's bump up them likes. HKN says, keep saying that all the old players gotta go. Shaw, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Dalot, Shaw. We put Shaw twice, you know. De Gea, McTominay, Fred, Bruno, Alanga. The thing is, what's crazy about this HKN, the only one I'd keep out of this list is Wan-Bissaka, and that's as a squad player.
Yeah, he's not
Shaw. Actually, I tell a lie. Shaw as well. I'd keep Wan-Bissaka and Shaw, but as squad players. Lindelof, I'd let go. Dalot, I'd let go. De Gea, I'd let go. McTominay, I'd let go. Fred, I'd let go. Bruno, I wouldn't fight to keep. And Alanga. So that's 7.
Hey, you know how petty I am, Flawless. Honest to God, truth. Every time I've done a FIFA like career mode, I sell Bruno for like 150.
Oh yeah. I always sell him for a big fee as well because he starts complaining, talking to the media about not playing games. So. All right, HKN, big up for this second super chat. Says the reason I know we can't handle those teams is because Lindelof and Maguire trying to play high line is going to be ugly. Only hope is Ten Hag changes the tactics. I do trust Ten Hag to change the tactics. Yeah. Also as well with a Malacia on the left, a Wan-Bissaka at right back. There's enough pace. I trust enough recovery pace in there. Don't get it mistaken, people. Malacia was poor against Sevilla, but that's the worst I've seen him play in a Manchester United shirt. That's his worst game for us. I fully trust him. I have no issues with seeing him in the lineup against Forest on Sunday, seeing him in the second leg of this tie, seeing him in the FA Cup against Brighton. I have no qualms. I'm not letting one game change my whole judgment on him. Do I believe he's good enough to be first team week in, week out? No. This is why I've said I want 2 new fullbacks. And then I've had pushback and people say that's not the priority. The priority is the spine. No, the priority is the entire 11. That's what it is. It's everything.
Yeah.
Because you see the weakness in our fullbacks. The same way you see the weakness at centre-back. The same way you see the weakness in midfield. Like the same way you see a weakness in attack. Not necessarily the Sevilla game, but I'm saying overall, people. Now people are talking about purging the team. Notice there's no Bruno defenders in the chat. But as soon as Bruno has a good game, it's, why are you always on Bruno?
Yeah, why you always,
Because of games like this. Because I know games like this are always around the corner. You know why? Because I've watched him enough to go, you'll play well 2 or 3 games. and then be piss poor. And then guess what? It wouldn't even surprise me if he played well against, what's it called? If he played well against Forest on Sunday. Would not shock me. And then it'll be like, see, why are you always on Bruno? And then they'll play poor against Sevilla. Like, you can't have inconsistency is no good. You need to be at a consistent level, people, if you are going to challenge for top trophies. On your worst, you need to be a 7. You need to be playing 7, 8, 9s, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 times. I'm giving you 1 out of 10 if we're really looking to reach the levels we are. If Manchester United are looking to go and try and get 80 plus points, 90 plus points to win a league title, going on to compete and win the Champions League, you think you can be inconsistent on a week in, week out basis? If we would have played Real Madrid like that, we would have got packed. It would have been 5, 6, 7. If we would have played a Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich or a Napoli or a PSG or a quality outfit, we would have been destroyed if we played like that.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And to guys who says Ten Hag is picking Maguire, how can you say it's not on the manager? Because all his options are terrible. That's why I can say it's not on the manager. Well, we're all, let's say for argument's sake, Lindelof's better than Maguire. Cool. Is Lindelof good enough? No. Is he much better? No. It's slight. If you have Lindelof over Maguire, cool. Do I think Lindelof's better than Maguire? Yes. But I don't think it makes a world of difference. I don't think it makes a world of difference whatsoever.
It doesn't.
At all. At all, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Like picking really between Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. Is Wan-Bissaka better defensively? Yes. Is Dalot better than offensively? But I wouldn't argue either or. I'm not going to bat for either of those two right backs.
Because each one of them, when you think about it, they're getting cooked in one kind of way.
That's it. Yeah, Neil. Best of a bad bunch. This is why I don't argue about it. When people say, oh, who'd you rather keep? Neither of them are good enough.
Neither, yeah.
Look at who he brought off the bench. And if he wasn't supposed to bring those players, who was he? And if he doesn't make changes and that happens, then it's, why didn't you make no changes? Can't win. Not saying he's blameless. I'm just saying, look at the team. I'm saying, look at the team. And why does it take us to draw against Sevilla? Because you know what's crazy? If we win that game 2-0 and me and Eddie are sat here saying the performance wasn't good enough, we'd be getting more pushback in the chat. Why are you lot criticizing? We won 2-0, ties over, blah, blah, blah. Not good enough. That's why I never argue. I don't fight for any of these players. I don't fight for none of these players whatsoever. Sure, the LFC it says, do you trust Ten Hag's talent ID? Absolutely. I like all his signings. Absolutely. I like all his signings.
And here's what's cold, bro. Here's what's cold. The only, for what you people say about Weghorst, he's done everything that Ten Hag wanted him to do. Mm-hmm. We were sitting there with 0 strikers at one point in this season. And the only person who fit the mold of what we needed at that time was him.
And only one we could afford.
Only could afford too. And think about this, people. No, all of you have these certain, ideas of what he should be. But that's not what he is. If you've ever watched Weghorst play, you understand that he's really just a tryhard. With the basic level of technical ability that allows him to make plays every now and again. But when you're asking of this guy, yeah, you know what? We need you to start. We need you to play every game. He doesn't even do that for the Netherlands. The Netherlands. He doesn't even do that for the Netherlands, people. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he can do it at Manchester United. Like, come off it.
We know what it is.
We know what it is. And Ten Hag knew what it was. Because like the Foss made the most salient point in all this. Right now, we didn't have the money to make any kinds of significant moves at that position. Get me somebody who can do a job. Get me somebody who can alleviate some level of responsibility on Rashford and what I ask of him to do. That way he can just focus on playing goals. Again, in our most important game of the season, who plays on Rashford for that goal?
Which game?
In the Carabao Cup.
It was
White
Vegas.
Horse did.
It was Vegas. Yeah, it was a great pass as well, actually.
For a free signing, he's done his job.
Yeah.
How many people will say, okay, yeah, if I sign this guy on a free and he helps win me a cup, everybody would take that. Ten Hag's talent ID is not the problem. It's the talent ID of an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of a Jose Mourinho, of Van Gaal. Well, Van Gaal is a bit different. I just say Van Gaal. I just thought his football was too pragmatic for the league that he was in.
Oh yeah, it was hella pragmatic from very pragmatic.
Right? But
extremely,
he could see talent. He could find talent, but
oh yeah, absolutely. It wasn't a lot. Yeah, it was
that's
football.
my thing. We got to stop questioning the manager, people. We have to get to a point.
Players more. You lot continue to bump up the likes. We're at 45 likes. Get us up to 60 likes and subscribe as well. We're looking for 5 new subscribers, people. No, 1 new subscriber. Get us to 6,300. No. Scratch that. 6 new subscribers. There's over 70 of you lot in the building. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Like check 1212. Let's bump up these likes. Let's subscribe to it as well. And here goes Star-Lord per usual. So let's get to this. He says we don't function without Bruno. How many games have we played without Bruno?
We'll never know.
How many games have we played without Bruno?
Right.
Consistently. How many 2, 3, 4, 5 game periods, Star-Lord, have we played without him to make this a valid point? Like, I'm genuinely asking. Because you just like this guy, which is cool. But let's not just lie. So to say we don't function without Bruno is crazy. Someone let me know in the chat, when is the last time we played 3, 4, 5 matches without Bruno to say we function better with him or function better without him? I'm not necessarily saying we function better without him, but to say we don't function is incorrect because we haven't seen it. This guy never gets injured. But we do it. I'm saying exactly. Bruno don't get injured, so he always plays. You know what I'm saying on that. So what are we talking about? Like, we can't just lie to protect our best players rather than just say he was poor. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking. This is a prime example. And Star-Lord, my guy, but this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Bruno puts in that piss poor performance and man will still defend him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bruno brings a level of intensity that keeps us ticking. As soon as he went off the other day, we crumbled. We were rubbish when he was on the pitch. We was rubbish when he was on the pitch. What are we talking about? And that's
taking pictures of work people. Yeah. I'm not taking pictures of players.
Yeah. Tazo, you made the point right there. So if we go away to Sevilla and win without Bruno because he's suspended, does that mean we function better with him, without him? No, we haven't seen it. I would love to see us over 4 or 5 games without Bruno, just to see how it looks. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, Star-Lord, answer the question. Let's not do that. Let's address this. You said we don't function without Bruno. When is the last time we had 3, 4, 5 matches without Bruno? What is your evidence to back that up? And just because, again, and this comes back to it, it happened versus Sevilla, but we were still winning. Just because you're winning doesn't mean you was playing well. This is the point I was making. People call results-based analysis. Because we was winning, that means we was playing well. And Bruno was playing. No, Bruno was playing poor. The team was playing poor with him on the pitch. Just because we was winning doesn't mean we was playing well. What are we doing here? Yeah, Chris Eriksen was back, but Eriksen was rusty.
Yeah, we got to...
Eriksen was rusty. And it looked rusty. And so did Casemiro. Those two did look rusty. Even though they were poor, that's why I give them more leeway. And I'm expecting much better performances. But we can't just keep... This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Day 131, a nigga still defending the Portuguese mount. Still.
I don't get it, people.
Don't get it. Puts in that terrible performance and we draw 2-2. I'm not saying he did well. Okay, Star-Lord, answer the question. You said we don't function without him. So what evidence do you have to back that up? When have we played 3, 4, 5, 6 games without him to say that we function worse without him? Otherwise, you're just lying. So we'll wait, Star-Lord. We'll wait. It's okay. And you admit he wasn't playing good. So he was playing poorly. So what we doing? So stop talking about his intensity and energy and all this crap. Nonsense. People will still defend this guy regardless of what he does. Piss poor performance. Awful performance. He was shocking. Wasn't the only one. It wasn't solely on him, but we're highlighting him because he's the topic of conversation. Not good enough. Nowhere near good. How many performances do we have to see like this? Newcastle, awful. Fulham, awful. How many performances do we need to see like this? Barcelona, the second leg, awful. What are we doing? Exactly, LFC for the double. No way, Bruno, he hasn't missed that many games, but people will just throw things out there because it sounds good. Or United function better, don't function worse without him. Based off of what?
Give me one second.
Yeah, no stress.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying in that. Samson, that's under a whole different, we function better without Bruno. No. Star-Lord, answer my question. Answer my question. You know what I'm saying? Because I've answered yours, so answer mine. You said we don't function without Bruno. What evidence do you have to back this up? What evidence? Let's go there, because I answered all your questions, so can you please answer mine? We don't function. I will keep repeating it. We don't function without. So what games have we seen? When has he not played 3, 4, 5 games to make this statement? Or is this just because you rate a player? There's no evidence to back this up. If there is someone in the chat, let me know. I'm happy to be corrected. Yo, Master, I even talking about the Gaffer's guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even talking about, because you said we don't, the manager keeps playing him, so he thinks otherwise. Why don't you drop Bruno then and put Eriksen in the 10? It's clear he's the Gaffer's guy, because our midfield options behind Eriksen ain't good either. That's why. And this comes back to squad depth and our team not being good enough. That's why. That's what it is. Sabitzer's just got here, because Sabitzer's, since Eriksen's come back, this is the only time both Eriksen and Sabitzer have been available. So, like, it's either a McTominay or a Fred. But I want to know about this. We don't function without Bruno. What is this based off? Realistically, who would you replace Bruno with? Are you talking about in the team, or are you talking about in general? Again, people talking about he suits the Caps, and this is what I'm talking about, people. Prime example of talking about everything apart from this man's poor performance yesterday. Shocking performance, and we're still here defending him. I just want the answer to my question, please. Because I answer all of you lot's questions. I don't duck no questions. But now all of a sudden, man, don't want to answer questions. Because people just be saying anything for players they like. I'm not like that. So I'm going to pull up anyone who does that, because I don't do that. And you lot wouldn't let me get away with that. If I was here back in Sancho, you lot would be on my case. You lot would be on my case. If I was here back in Sancho and saying we need to keep him, this, that, and the third, you lot would be on my case. What are we talking about? Transfer, ideally Montana, Madison. But I just need a new number 10. Same way I just need a new right back. Like we got linked with Frimpong. No, Star-Lord. No. That's not what we doing. It's every game he's missed. We are worse. That's the facts. He's missed games, and when he was shit, we were shit at the normal base. When has that happened this season?
But here's
we're talking about this. No, before you go, Eddie, this season, when has that happened? Because Ten Hag just got here. So we're talking about this season. When has that happened? We're not getting away with this. Nah.
Here's my thing. Here's my
agendas,
thing,
people. Star-Lord, I still want my answer. I still want my answer to the question. When has that happened this season? Don't tell me about Ragnick, or don't tell me about Ollie or Van Gaal or whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know. The other night, when? Name me 3, 4, 5 games. Let me establish the question again. You said we don't function without Bruno. How many games in a row have we seen us without Bruno for this to be a fact? Don't give me one game. One game's not enough. You know what I'm saying? One game's not enough. So when we've had 3, 4, 5 games to say we don't function without him. Hella, like that's what this. We're not bypassing this. Again, this occasionally people, ManDem United, we have standoffs. You know what I'm saying? Mexican standoff. Eddie knows this. He's been here often enough. We have these. Because people just be saying anything, and it's like, no, we're not just gonna bypass.
And then we ask you to prove it.
No proof. No evidence. It's every game he's missed. No, so you're basing it off. So it's never been 3, 4, 5 games in a row. So we're saying one game. So you're pinpointing, taking one match and saying we perform poorly without him. Nonsense. See what I'm saying, people? Nothing to back it up with. One game, you know. We'll take one match and go, yeah, we perform poorly then. Like we haven't performed poorly with him. We performed piss poor against Sevilla. We were poor against Newcastle. We were poor against Fulham. All them games we was poor. Why have we won nothing? Until better players arrived. Yes, Taza, people just be saying stuff without evidence. You're just saying one match. How many games has he missed this season? Because he don't get injured. And he's been suspended a couple times. Bruno Bruno's played 48 games all season, so what games has he even missed? See what I'm talking about? People just be making up shit and saying whatever. What games has he missed? Star-Lord, what games has he missed this season? Please enlighten us. If you're going to come and talk, we got to talk facts. Because this is now not opinion. Let's talk facts. What games has he missed? Well, pinpoint it. Hey, somebody in the chat, let me know what games. One of you is a stat guy in there. Let us know what games Bruno's missed.
I don't think he's missed a game, if I'm being honest.
Okay, so man are lying then. That we function better with, you know what I'm saying? We don't function with him when we haven't seen it.
We haven't seen it.
Just say I like him as a player and that's that. So he's played 47 out of 48 games. So what game are you referring to, Star-Lord, this season? Under this manager. Don't tell me about Ragnick. Don't tell me about Oli. Both not good enough as managers and piss poor players. Every game since he dropped, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this season. Talking about this season. Every game since he joined the club. We're not talking about every game since he joined the club. We're talking about this group of players. He's been here 4 or 5 years. Don't tell me about 3, 4, 5 years ago. We're talking about this season. So what we on about? What we on about here?
Like, people, we have to understand something, and I'll say it continuously. When you look at the midfield, of the best teams in the world, Bruno doesn't make a single one of them. He doesn't.
Not using games from years ago. I'm talking about this season.
But here's the thing, Flawless. They can even use games from seasons ago, right? And at his best, what did that get us?
Yeah, like he's not been a part of some of our most embarrassing defeats this season. He played in them all.
What has that gotten us, people? What does he have that you can use to celebrate his effectiveness as a Manchester United lead midfielder? I'll wait.
Pardon me.
I'll wait.
Sorry, people.
Like, it's okay to support the club.
I'm with that.
But there has to become a point in time where a part of your support is holding parties accountable when they do not live up to the standard of the club. Think Flawless wants to come out here and bash his midfielder? No. I'm sure if there was a fairy or one of the Fairly godparents jumped up out the TV and said, here you go, Bruno. Here's a brain. Here's technical ability. Go make it happen. Nonsense. And he turns out to be one of the best midfielders in the world. Flawless would be right there singing his praises.
Absolutely.
But for some reason...
No. Star-Lord, don't hit me with that. What games have we missed? Let's get back to that. Sorry to cut you off, Eddie. Let's get back to that.
You're good.
Man,
you need to cook him on that point.
Man never answered the question. See this, people. Prime example. Don't answer the question. Man could say, wow, we played 3 games in a row, and we were all for 3 games. He hasn't missed no games in a row. So therefore, the fact that Bruno hasn't missed X amount of games in a row, there's no evidence to back up that statement. Exactly. It's an empty statement. We're using one-off games. So that means if we play a game with Elanga and then we win it, that means we perform better with Elanga on the side. That's what that means. Going by that logic. That means if Maguire plays, Maguire had that actually. So do we perform better with Maguire? I don't think we've lost the game with Maguire in his last. He put the stats out. Is it 8, 9, 10? Something like that. So Maguire's not so Maguire should start then. Because we play better with Maguire. We can't function without him. Nonsense. Absolutely nonsense.
And you know better.
Nonsense.
And you know better.
You know what I'm saying? And that. Man can't answer it because it's not happened this season. Man want to go back to under Ollie's reign. No, we're talking about this season. Talking about what's gone on this season. There's no evidence to suggest we perform better or worse without him. I'm not even saying we perform better without him. I'm saying I've not seen it yet. Star-Lord ain't seen it. Nobody's seen it because it's not happened. But people will just make judgments and opinions based off no facts, people. 0 facts. This ain't the place for that. If you're going to say something, we got to back it up with some form of evidence. Especially things like that. If I sit on here and say, yo, we perform better with Lindelof. Man, I'm going to say, based off of what? And if I just bluster, oh, well, you don't know what Ten Hag rates Lindelof, and if you sell him, he's going to be. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. I'm saying people just make empty statements all of the time, people. After we just drew 2-2 and he put in that piss poor performance against Sevilla, and people are still here defending him.
Regardless. There's really no need to it as well.
So man, I said Bruno started 47 of 50 games United have had this season. So he started the majority. So we've not seen the team without him over a consistent period of time. I actually want to see it.
And here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part, Flawless.
Well,
you're not saying he's wrong because it might be the truth that we don't play better. We just haven't seen it.
How do we know?
That's it. You might be right, Star-Lord, but you pigeonholed yourself when you said we don't play better without him when we've never seen it.
Never seen it. Here's the thing though, Eddie. Guess what? Say we beat Sevilla on Thursday because he's suspended. Was that proof that we play better without him?
Nope.
Exactly.
Doesn't.
What are we doing?
That's it.
And to Marcus Rashford FC, you're new here, I can tell by the Avi and that. Nobody here defends Sancho. I don't defend none of these players, apart from the new ones. That's it. Apart from the new ones. That's what it is. Montana, do I drink occasionally? Why you ask, I don't know, but occasionally. I'm just tired. I'm tired of these players and I'm tired of people defending them. And like this is a part of what man does in terms of interacting with you lot in the chat, which is great, but I just got no time for nonsense.
Well, yeah,
I'm all for hearing the other side and that. And like Eddie made the point is, I'm not even saying Star-Lord is wrong. We might function better with Bruno in the side. We don't know because we haven't seen it. It's all guesswork. It's all guesswork. That's what it is. I can say, we function better with Sancho in the 10. I could say, we function better with Bruno wide right. We haven't seen it often enough. Okay, so when we do get to see it, you will see. So, okay, now we've got somewhere. So, yes, your statement was, that's Star-Lord saying his statement wasn't factual.
That's all you got to do, Star-Lord.
Now it says when we do get to see it, you will see. So, when we do see it. So, don't make opinion-based. Never state your opinion like it's a fact, people. That's one thing I never do. Never state your opinion like it's a fact. I'll give you my opinion and give you reasons as to why. Flawless, what is your definition of a world-class midfielder? What are the example you would give? In terms of what it depends, are you talking defensive midfielder, attacking? Casemiro's a world-class midfielder. To me, is someone who excels at multiple attributes. And when I excel on a scale of 0 to 10, they're 8 out of 10 or better at. And Casemiro, as a midfielder overall, excels at so much. I put Casemiro in the world-class bracket. He's a world-class midfielder. Eriksen, as much as I rate him, I wouldn't put him in the world-class bracket.
Yeah, no.
And I rate Eriksen. I like Sabitzer. I think he's a good player. But I wouldn't put Sabitzer in the world-class bracket. There's very few. Now, I wouldn't take Ward-Prowse. I wouldn't. Even though I'm a fan of Ward-Prowse, I wouldn't take Ward-Prowse at United. No. To go get quality. Like, this is what I'm saying, people. The people can continue to defend these guys after that performance. And that being said, even though I've sat here and criticized the team, I still think we'll get through. Because I like the lineup, because he's going to go with Casemiro, Eriksen, Sabitzer, Sancho, Anthony, Martial. Like, that's it. Like, just it. I understand what you mean, but remember when we lost 3-1 to Villa, I think Van der Beek started. We had no energy in midfield. If we're going to get a new 10, we need to scout smartly. I agree. We do need to scout smartly. But why are we just pinpointing the 3-1 to Villa? Okay, we lost 2-0 to Newcastle with Bruno in the side. We lost 7-0 to Liverpool with Bruno in the side. We lost 6-3 to Manchester City with Bruno in the side. We've lost other games as well. I can't remember. No, there's more off the top of my head that we lost with Bruno in the side. He's played the majority of the defeats. So why are we pinpointing the one time he wasn't there? And we got beat with him in the side. What are we doing? What are we talking about?
I don't get it.
I don't get it. He played against Brentford. He played against Brighton when we lost. So where was his energy then? But we're just going to pinpoint the one time he was out of the team and we lost, like we haven't lost more times with him. Eriksen, Bruno isn't a massive miss. That's the crazy part. I don't think he is. I don't think he's a massive miss. He's not. I actually want to see what the team looks like to see how we function without him. just to see it.
Right.
Because you know what? I think we have a better number. Don't tell anybody, but I think we have a better number 10 in the squad, people. I think there's a better number 10 there.
And you know what's crazy?
And it's not the Portuguese guy. It's the Danish done with the pacemaker.
That's the craziest part. Like, we'll have players who can generally fill the roles that they're most comfortable in, because you'll have Sabitzer and his ability to play around in midfield. You'll have Eriksen be able to link the play from the midfield, and then you have Casemiro, right? And it'll be interesting to see. I think, I don't know how people don't see this with Bruno. We give him credit for being disciplined. So we're giving him credit for following the rules. Like, this is what messes me up. Like, we're giving him credit for doing the bare minimum, while we ask other midfielders around the world to be special every second of every day. We got to do better. We have to demand better. Like, we can't just... I think it's because it's been so long since we've been at the top that people forget the level of quality that we've always had here, especially at midfield. We've had some of the coldest midfields ever.
Facts.
But somehow, some way, shit got to change now because of this guy. I'm not having it. I'll never allow that. Like, from strikers to midfielders to our back line, we deserve the best in class because that's what we can afford. And that's not what Bruno is, people.
Big up my guy Gil every single time. I think that's Gil. Yeah, that's the Gil I know. Gil, big up to you, man. Go on, carry on, fam.
No, I said that's all I got. Like, he's not Manchester United level.
No.
And he's not worth your defense. Because here's the thing, right?
Hella defense.
They say it all the time. We say it all the time. They love saying it with Son and all these other players, but except for their own. Form is temporary, class is permanent. I've seen enough terrible games from Bruno, and I've seen enough measures or times where his form has been on point to understand what I'm dealing with. It's that simple for me. It really is, bro.
Stylord, when you say name someone better, are you talking about in the squad? Or are you talking about in world football? You gotta clarify. You know what I'm
saying? I just hate how this always comes into the conversation when we have these.
Who's better, rather than talk about that man's skill set? Because you know what it is, Eddie?
Yeah.
That man's not very skilled. That's what it is. Because if we were here right now criticizing Casemiro and saying Casemiro's not good enough and Casemiro needs to do better, and you know what man in the chat would say? Nah, you're tripping. Casemiro's good at this. He does this well. He does this well. He does this well. He helps the team with this. If we were sat here criticizing him, Martinez, we were criticizing, you know what man would say? No, Martinez does this well, does this well, does this well, does this well. Anytime we start talking about this guy, it's always everybody else or who's better. Go find the 10 who's better. Go find me a 10 who's better. He's not the best 10 in the world. He's not. He's average at best. He's Park Ji-sung, for those that remember. I've called it before. I'll say it again. He's Park. Because like I've said before, somebody tell me what this man excels at on the football. What does he excel at?
Like anybody, people have said that his best position is a 10. How?
Name a 10 that we can get that's better. We can definitely go get a 10 that's better. Well, I'm not going to fall into the game of, well, such and such isn't better. My point is, you can go and scout. You can go and scout and find a 10 who's better.
You know what? Let me just, you know what? I got. Give me a second to look it up. Make sure I get the names right. I'm actually going to do it.
Well, yeah, to answer your question, I think Eriksen's a better 10, yes. 100%.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I think Eriksen's a better 10. HKM, big up for the super chat. It says Bruno and Shaw got to be the two of the most overrated Manchester United players ever. Up there with Gary Neville, mediocre ballers at best. They don't put Gary Neville with them, look. But one thing Gary Neville had was elite mentality. Elite mentality. and he was an exceptional crosser of the ball. He was an exceptional outlet. You know what I'm saying? And that exceptional outlet, Gary Neville. However, I agree with you in terms of Bruno and Shaw are two of the most overrated players. Yes. All right, Bruno scores goals, gets lots of assists, he creates the most chances, and that's a 10 row. Okay, Star Lord, if you're happy with his performance, it's cool. All right, cool. Whatever, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'll just take a list from one of these sites.
Whatever, man.
Well, you know,
I'm tired of it. Go on.
legit try and
Last
run
point on
down
it.
the list.
Because he's just going to disagree. So I'm going to let you run down the list and we're going to keep the show moving. Okay. I can't be bothered. I'm saying we already debunked 1 point. Now it's who's the better 10. Like he's the best 10 in the world. Bang average. What does he excel at on the ball? You know what I'm saying? And that. What does he excel at? Man say he create the most chances. You know he takes set pieces, right? So that goes into the created chances. Because he takes set pieces. Because if I look at the most creative, don't just because you have you're on the highest most chance created list doesn't make you creative. If I look at that list, I guarantee you there's some players we don't rate on that list. You know, I'm in the right
here. We go. Yeah, I got a list. Hold up. These are players who could play in the 10, right? Okay, let's do it. Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you go Kevin De Bruyne or Bruno? I'm going KDB, and I don't say that glowingly.
Hold up, I'm gonna get this list up. So here we go. So most chances created in the Premier League. Before we even get to that, I've just pulled up the list. Okay, guarantee there's some ballers on here that we don't rate. James Ward-Prowse. Would you take James Ward-Prowse at Manchester United Football Club, Eddie?
Over Bruno?
No, not over Bruno. Just in general, he's 6 on the list. James Ward-Prowse.
No,
he's 6.
Cool.
Okay. You know who's number 7 on the list? Pascal Gross. Would you take Pascal Gross at Manchester United Football Club?
That's crazy.
All right. Let's keep running down the list. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Number 8, former Manchester United player. He's number 8 on the list. Currently playing his football in Fulham. Andreas Pereira. Would you take Andreas Pereira back?
That's a tough question.
Okay, all right. I tell that. Let me say that. Would you, if you're building a team to go and compete for a league title, would you take Andreas Pereira? Would you have him as your most number 10? Okay, but he's created the 8th most chances in the league. Okay. Number 9 on the list. Oh, this is good. Would you take Morgan Gibbs-White? That's who's number 9.
Wow.
See how you can just bullshit this thing, people. Look at the players I just named on that list.
Come on now.
Oh, you want to know who's number 10? Solly March. You know what I'm saying? Solly March.
People.
What are we doing?
People. Exactly. That was what are we doing? Like,
see, I just thought I didn't even want you to get into the game of who's better. I was like, all right, since he mentioned this whole creator list, all right, let's look at the creator list.
Let me ask you, who does he replace? Because I already picked the top 2 teams. Who does he replace in Newcastle's midfield?
Probably a Longstaff or Willock, one of them runners. Tryouts.
Yeah, right. Look, we didn't say the other 2.
Oh, you're not Bruno G. We know that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, y'all something else with this guy.
You know we ain't do Bruno G. Big up United fans like GA. That's why they love Bruno. Someone in the group chat told me they don't care if Bruno gives the ball away 100 times as long as he gets an assist, but cry when Sancho or Anthony give the ball away once. HKN, big up for the super chat. And it's not all United fans, but I hear your point. People can't look past GNA. Yeah. Same way Star-Lord mentioned this whole, he created the most chances, so let's run through the list then. So you're telling me that James Ward-Prowse is the 6th most creative player in the league? Absolutely not. Are we saying, according to this list, James Ward-Prowse is more creative than Phil Foden, he's more creative than Bernardo Silva, he's more creative than Gundogan, he's more creative than Eriksen, he's more creative than Bruno G, and so is Pascal Gross, and so is Solly March? No. Because these again, stats. Watch the game with your 2 eyeballs, people. And HKN again, big up for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. Love. Appreciate it. Anyway, you lot get your final few questions in as well, man. Before we close out, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go straight into the Q&A from this people. So we're just gonna raid ourselves. Sarcasm City TV is gonna raid Sarcasm City TV. So yeah. Rohit says, will the Glazers give Ten Hag the green light to sell the Deadwood players? Yeah, because we've seen players before.
He already has a transfer list, and I think I forgot. I think Martial was on it. I know McTominay was on it. I know Maguire was on it. I know I think Lindelof was on it.
Jeez.
Yeah, he has. There's a lot of players on his transfer list. Yeah, there's a lot of players.
That's what we're talking about, man. Like, hey, you lot, like, check as well. While we wait for you lot to get more questions in, please keep on Manchester United related. Hit the like button on the video. Make sure you do that. Bump up the likes, whether you're watching live right now or watching this back after the live. Please make sure you hit the likes. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We're at 56 likes, over 80 of you lot in the building. Girls up to 70 likes, people. 70 likes. And we're looking for 4 new subscribers. I know there's at least 4 of you lot who haven't hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell as well. As always, every time we lose, there's always the Bruno Defense League in the building. To Montana, who says Maguire played everyone on side for the first goal. That's on Malacia. Goals on Malacia.
No, that's on Malacia.
That's solely on Malacia. Solely on Malacia. Big up to
and I hear that point, right? I hear that point, but if he just attacks the ball, there's no conversation there.
Yeah, just clear it. Just clear it. That's all you have to do. And big up to Masingo. I don't want to butcher your first name. My guy says, hey, Flawless, hardly get to watch you live. Great to find you tonight. Hey, big up, man. It's always good to have, you know what I'm saying, people who can't make the lives in the building. 100%. Jesse, this is a good question, actually. Do you think we can win another Premier League title with De Gea? We'll go to you first tonight.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, no, it hurt. At least he got one, but absolutely not. The game has passed him by. Honestly, like he's so inept at passing. And I get on these ebbs and flows with him, but I can't have that in a goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like to be a goalkeeper, you can't be as up and down as he is. To be a high-level goalkeeper. It's either you keep a high level that might not be, the greatest, but it's still good, and you don't hurt us in other avenues, right? Like, he legit hurts us in our ability to maintain the ball. When you see how far out goalkeepers come out to initiate, the passing, like you see him, and I've defended him for months. I've even gotten into it with Murtaza about this, right?
Yeah.
Do I think he's good enough to win it? No, absolutely not. Do I think where we are right now, he's one of the biggest problems we have on the pitch? No, I do not. So I think that's where we kind of differ between a lot of people who think he's a large part of the problem. I'd say the midfield is probably our biggest issue, more than I'd say the goalkeeper. So that's where I'm at with that.
Jesse, unfortunately, like Eddie, no, I like the hell, but the game's moved on. I'm saying, and that he's like an artist who's hot in the CD era, and he's still trying to pass you with CD. You know what I'm saying, or his tape. It's like everything's digital now. Like, that's just what it is. Like, the game's moved on. That's all. And that's not shy of him. You know what I'm saying? He had his time. And he had a great time. He's won everything for Manchester United bar the Champions League, I believe. He's got Premier League. He's got Europa League. He's got FA Cup. He's got a League Cup. And he's adored by the fans. But it's every time I see him on the ball, like yesterday it's technically now Thursday night now, because obviously the day's gone. So a couple nights ago, but he's on the ball and it's just slow. It's just slow playing out from the back, and then he'll pass the ball to Martinez will pass the ball to him, will take the goal kick, pass it to him for him to pass it back to Martinez. And all you're doing is inviting the press. Wait, how old is De Gea?
He's over 30, and they were...
No, it's because Mertaz is trying to make jokes saying De Gea is older than me, but I don't know if that's the case. I don't know how old De Gea is. How old is De Gea, people? I have no, let us know in the chat. But Marcus Rashford, you know what I'm saying? I can't believe I'm saying that. Rashford FC, stop spamming in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Or you will be blocked. He's 31. Yeah, I'm older than De Gea. But my point is, he's just not it anymore. Like, I'm not even violating. I'm not even violating. It's not a violation, Montana, when I say that he's not good enough. You're just not good enough. Don't get mistaken, people. When I'm criticizing these players, it's no violating. I'm just giving my opinion. From when I've seen you over a season and a half, 2 seasons, 3, 4 seasons, I'll make my assessment. It doesn't mean that you can't have good games. Like De Gea will have games like the Fulham game where he'll keep us in the game. But he's playing out from the back is just not it. So do I think we can win another Premier League title with him? Nope. No. I don't think we can. I'm saying. Don't think we can. What are your chances of winning any more trophies now, says Marcel? We'll go to you first, then it's Eddie.
A lot of it depends on this summer. I think.
No. I think he means from now this season. Europa League, FA Cup.
Oh, yeah. No, Europa shit's still ours. Mm-hmm. I don't see any reason why the Europa League would not be ours. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a team that's head and shoulders better than us because I think honestly, the one thing that has the differentiate, like if we get Rashford back in a couple weeks or a couple days, however long it may be, he can be a difference maker. And I think you add that to a Tony and an Anthony, and I think we have the most potent front three in the entire competition.
Rashford, and then Martial, Anthony, I like that.
And then when you have still Casemiro, Eriksen in the midfield of Bruno, I think you still have probably one of the better midfields in the competition. So we still have a great chance. Yeah. My fault.
That's not good for me. I'm saying. You're at work. To answer your question, Marcel, yeah, has it decreased? Absolutely it's decreased. Absolutely it's decreased. Without doubt, like 110% because of the injuries. Varane's Martinez is done for the season. We don't know when Varane's going to be back. We don't know exactly when Rashford's going to be back. But like Eddie said, fully agree with what Eddie stated there in regards to we still have the best team in this competition. This is why I've been so confident this entire competition. And it's not so much that Manchester United are great, even though we do have some very good players and we have a good manager. It's because I don't rate the competition. We ain't played anybody. There's no one we played in this competition where I go, but they were a great side. They were a good side. They were potent. There's nobody. Sociedad. We having a Sociedad, Sheriff, Omonia, Barcelona, Betis, Sevilla. None of them. None of those teams. None of those. Jack, I don't rate Barcelona. I don't. If we would have got beat by them, I would have been pissed. Because they're not a good team. And it's shown. We packed them at their place, performance-wise, people. Now I'm not talking result. Forget the result. Forget 2-2. We packed them at the new camp and should have won the game. And then we was poor in the first leg. I mean, the first half of the second leg. And even then, they didn't create anything. Look at the goals they scored. They scored 3 goals over 180 minutes. One was a set piece. One was a cross-come shot, and one was a penalty. Shocking out. Not a shocking outfit, but they put in shocking performances. Z's calls them mid. Yeah, they're average. I'm saying Betis average. Sevilla worse than average. Omonia, friggin' Sheriff, Sociedad, meh. I don't rate the teams in this competition. I respect your opinion, Flawless, but without Varane and Leach, our defense is a lot poorer than some left in the competition, in my opinion. No, because I trust that Luke Shaw coming back on Malacia and then Lindelof or Maguire next to Shaw, because Eddie mentions it. This is their level. And to myself, said Barcelona clear at the top of the Liga ahead of Champions League favourites Real Madrid. Yeah, because Real Madrid not always. They don't care for the league like that. We've seen better Real Madrid sides chucking chucking La Liga. We've seen a manager win La Liga and get sacked that season in the summer. That happened, people, for those that don't know. I think it was Del Bosque. It might have been Del Bosque. But anyway, a Real Madrid manager won La Liga and then was sacked in the summer. There was no fallout. They just sacked him. I think it was due to not winning the Champions League in the football. So that's like Arteta winning the Premier League for Arsenal in May, June, and then he gets sacked in July. That's what happened. That's what it is. So yeah, I fully expect us to do the business in the Europa League because I don't rate the teams. And man, you said it there, like Barca being clear. I watch Barcelona. I watched enough of them
Really
before.
not that good.
I watched enough of them before we played them, not in depth, but I watched enough where I'm like, we got you, look. And I kept talking about stylistically how we match up against them. That comes into it as well. And what happened came to what I thought would happen happened. We just didn't take our chances. But back to the point I'm making is I don't rate these teams. I watch Sporting play Arsenal. People are now waxing lyrical about Sporting because they knocked out Arsenal, but they scored a wonder goal to equal the tie and then got through on penalties. Let's not mistake that. It's not like they went to the Emirates and absolutely cleaned up Arsenal and walked through them.
Mm-hmm.
Juventus, and then you got the Belgian Pro League side on the other team, Roma, Feyenoord, Union St. G. Like, these are not good teams, people. If any of these teams were in the Champions League, they're getting bounced to the Europa League, i.e. Barcelona. That's why Barcelona got bounced to the Champions League. You know why? Because they're not very good. You know what I'm saying? Banter aside, I don't think you man are winning any more silverware. City taking the FA Cup for sure. Them man are a machine. I hear that about City in the FA Cup. I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear that. 100%. Yeah, Ed. Yeah, I knew it was Del Bosque. Yeah, appreciate it. That's what it was. City, of course, they're the favourites for that. I'm not going to any pushback on that, but we're still favourites without Martinez and Varane for this competition. And if we get knocked out if this time next week, me and Eddie are doing this show, and we've been knocked out by Sevilla, I will be livid. Because we have enough out there to do the business. Bruno suspended, Rashford's injured, so you know what the midfield trio is going to be. It's going to be Casemiro, Eriksen, Sabitzer. I like that. I've wanted to see that midfield for the longest. As soon as we signed Sabitzer, and I've seen him a couple times, I was like, that's the midfield I want to see. I wanted to see Sabitzer in that role. I wanted to see Sabitzer, Casemiro, and Eriksen together as a midfield trio. And then it's not Bruno out wide. You actually have two wide players in Anthony and Sancho. And then you've got Martial up top. I'm looking at those five to win us the game.
Yep.
They're the five. You lot go and do the business. You are the five I'm looking at. Rash is back, Ten Hag said. When did he say that, Zeez? Don't gas me. When did he say that? When did he say that? But back to the point, and I know I'll talk about it again next week, but they're the five players I'm looking at to go and deliver for us in this competition. I'm not looking at the defense. It's a straight shootout with Sevilla. Go do the business. Was it Capello? I knew it was someone, Dennis.
People are acting like that place is a fucking fortress. You can't be a fortress if you're 5 points from relegation in La Liga. I can't give you any kind of fear. I can't give you any kind of you don't intimidate me.
Facts.
That's it. You don't intimidate me, bro.
That's it, fam. You know what I'm saying? And as I'm looking at it, I'm not scared. I'm not frightened for them either.
Yeah, they're saying he could be back for Sevilla.
That makes the world of difference.
Yeah.
That makes me even more confident. Again, people...
Whatever happened to Garnacho got injured.
Garnacho got crocked. Yeah. He would have been useful at this point now. Just with his directness and his pace. But if I'm saying Rashford will be back. Yeah, go on, fam. Go on.
The thing is, that's why Anthony gave them so much trouble. He was just faster than them all.
He's our best attacker.
He was our best attacker. He just had speed that they couldn't cope with. Why do you think Acuna was getting frustrated? Everywhere he turned, this brother was just running. Running. Go do the job. It's not that hard. We're not asking for you to go up to the burner, we're not.
Facts.
Just say go up to Camp Nou, get a result, even though we did that.
Yeah, we did that. I'm saying go. It's a straight shootout.
We have Casemiro. Mm-hmm. We have somebody who's familiar with your game. There's no excuses, people. We have talent still. Again, for what it's worth, too, this is damn near the same team that went to the Europa League final a couple of seasons ago. Not much has changed, team-wise. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm expecting us to go there and do the business.
What up, Dundada?
That's it. Big up Black Diamond every single time and that. Is the mentality of these players it's the mentality of these players? You think you have enough? Yeah, I think we have enough skill.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it's a mentality issue with these players. I just think they're not very good.
They're not very
overall.
good. That's the biggest
Yeah,
part.
that's why I think it's just
Not
skill.
even like, like it's
I
not
don't
even a
think it's-
mentality thing. I'm just not very good.
I don't think it's a will thing. I think it's a skill set thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like that's legit what it is. But I fully expect us to go to Sevilla and do the business. And if we don't, I'm looking at the manager and I'm looking at the players. All right. Damn, my expectations were low, but holy shit. That's what it is. You lot gotta do more. You lot gotta do better. Like it's Sevilla. I'm not sorry. Like Eddie said, it's not no fortress. Otherwise, you wouldn't be 5 points from bottom in your league if it was a fortress. And we watched them. They're shocking. We know this.
They did not score a goal. We scored all the goals, people.
Yo, they scored 2 deflected shots. I'm not letting that cloud my
Don't even give it to them, bro. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously, I'm not. Like, y'all didn't score. We did. That's where I'm at with it, bro. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, man. Y'all, they're not that. Y'all are really not them. And to have the opportunity to send y'all home, on y'all home, I take that. Because of just this last game. Because of this last game, I'll take that.
Facts. I'm saying overconfident. Again, I see you, man, said you were going to do the business at home. I heard 3-0 and 4-0. Football is a humbler word to Grizz. You also said you was going to beat Real Madrid, and then you got Pack 5.
Who's that? Is that Sel?
Yeah, Marcel. Yeah. He also said,
hey, man, listen, man.
This is what I'm saying. He also said that.
This is kind of like if your team is above 7th conversation, just limit yourself.
Football humbled you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Football humbled you. That's what it did. Because you thought you was going to beat Madrid. What happened? Packed. Comfy. And then you disappeared. You ran. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Football's humbled you so much, you ran.
Man, my dog, but I'm a cook when I gotta cook. Y'all ain't that. Y'all ain't that.
Man ran. Couldn't see man in the chat. Turned up all hour and a half into the show with Saint. Ran from the watch along. Nowhere to 2-0. He was there. When he went 3-4s, Marcel disappeared. Kind of like his team. You know what I'm saying? So let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? And that humbled. You know what I'm saying? And that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What did you win this season? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Your owners are washed, your managers washed, and your team's washed. Let me not even get onto Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? Let me not even get onto Liverpool. You have to accept cookies to see Liverpool's place, man. Talking about, oh, you was going to win. You also said we'd lose to Newcastle United. You also said we'd lose to Barcelona. I'm saying, like, what are we doing? Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you won your cup final against us. Well done. What did that get you? Sweet effort. Nothing.
8th to 7th?
Nothing. You know what the crazy part is? They ain't won a game since. They ain't won a game since. They packed us and they ain't won a game since. I have to go back to that one-off games, man. Typical Liverpool. Where their cup final always be their biggest game. Not trophies, nah. Not the fact they went from chasing quadruple to chasing top 4. Well, you know, whole different conversation than that. This is not what we're doing. Yeah, man, I always just want to hype up talking about, oh, football's a humbler. You know what I'm saying? One got to come true. Yeah, I'm glad you know that one's got to come true. So you just shooting. Because at the moment, you terrible right now. Your percentage is in the mud. I'm saying, and you ran. You know what I'm saying? I will be here. I won't do it myself. Win, lose, or draw, I'm here. I ain't myself. I ain't Hassam. You know what I'm saying? Don't take me for these dunnies. Man's here all the time. Yep, broken clock syndrome. Love that, Black Diamond. Or if I say United will lose enough, they'll lose. If I say Liverpool will win enough, they'll win. Packed. Shit season. Like I said, shit owners, shit manager, shit team. They're cooked. Cook this season, cook next season. Their time in the sun's over. Yeah, I know. You know, shoot. I won't stop till I cash in. You just spraying up the wall, man. You know what I'm saying? Here, you like a hockey player from. You know what I'm saying? Hitting the wall and that when we move. Hey, still over 80 of you lot locked in. Get your final few questions in as well. Jesse, no NBA watch along, no. Because I wanted to do a playoff preview, but since I had to push back ManDem United, I had to push back the Q&A as well, which you will get straight after this, people. We'll go straight into the Q&A after this. Let's see, final few questions. Is
there a playoff preview today?
Nah, I was going to do it, but I got to do the Q&A because I had to push this back in it. So traveling was a nightmare today. That's
No
what it was.
worries. No worries.
Yeah. That's why this is so late. I want to do this. When I spoke to you, I was talking
Oh
about
yeah. I remember that. Don't even trip.
All right, that's it. Let's see. All right, Forest. Wait. Hold on. What's it? Yeah. Nottingham Forest. We even spoke on that. Your thoughts? How you looking at that? Bear in mind, no Martinez, no
1-0,
Varane.
1-0, 2-0, 1-0, 2-0. One of them situations. Control will be there. I think again we've played them with Maguire and Lindelof in the back line before. I think it was the cup game we played them with Maguire and Lindelof.
Played him in the Carabao Cup. We did.
So yeah, I'm really not scared at all. I'm not scared at all.
Oh. I'm not scared. I look at it and go, it's not ideal because of the injuries, but I've got because of what happened in the Sevilla game, I'm so disinterested. You know what I'm saying? And that, in the Premier League, even though there is top 4 place at stake, and people will run banter and run jokes, and I think we'll win the game. Even though Fulham, Nottingham Forest are decent at home, I expect Manchester United to do the business. But I always expect us to do the business. I do. Because like you said, we played there in the Carabao Cup semi-final and won. I believe it was 2-0. It was the first leg was there, right? So yeah, I've got no issues, no worries. Like I said, man, it's all about Thursday. It's all about Thursday. That's the one. Final few questions. Continue to bump up the lights as well, people. Eddie, anything you want to talk about in regards to? That we haven't touched on?
Man. I think we pretty much covered everything. Nothing with regards to ownership. Yeah, we got it, man. We everything covered, everything straight.
Yeah, calm. All right, let me final few questions then. Sean needs to go. Left-sided centre back ASAP. I think everyone's on that.
You know I said the same thing.
Yeah, it is. Oh, here we go. Neil says, "What squad would you like to see at Forest?" That's a good question. Name
11. Same front three. Sabitzer, Eriksson, Casemiro, Malacia, Shaw, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka. That would be it.
That again, fam. Run through that again. Say that again.
So, Anthony, Sancho, Martial, same front three. Midfield of Sabitzer, Eriksson, and Casemiro. Then Malacia, Shaw, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka.
All right, first. Who would you put up front? I'm pretty sure Ten Hag will not risk Martial. Would you not rest anybody? Simple for the fact because of the game, or would you just play a full strength side?
Full strength. They can get their rest. I think they can get enough rest from Sunday to Thursday. If anything, sub some out too. That's always a good possibility as well. Martial would get subbed. I'd go him for 60 minutes, or maybe even 50. Because Sancho hasn't been playing, I don't think I have to worry about rest with him because he normally hasn't been playing all that much. So, yeah, that's what I'd do. Oh, you good, Flawless?
Yeah. Man's here. I was just sorting out stuff. People always working while I'm working. I was literally doing the thumbnail for the Q&A. You know
okay. Right on.
That's all it was. Final few. Let's see. Black Diamond, you jokes. And Marcel, don't say, you know what I'm saying, you bring all the smoke. Because when that Madrid smoke was here, you disappeared. Don't do that.
That one.
Yeah, man, you ducked that one. That's a fact. Every other time you're here, I give you that. But that one you didn't. We haven't got much choice, but Sabitzer might be a shot at some point. He's finishing his quad. And yeah, people have been asking about centre-back options. in regards to Casemiro playing centre back, McTominay playing centre back. We've seen Casemiro play centre back, I believe, this season. I suppose it's an option if it is. I don't think he'll do it, but like we've seen it happen. McTominay at centre back. I know he's done it for Scotland, but I believe it's in a back three. Now, if we were to change to a back three, I would 100% consider that. That's McTominay as a right-sided centre back. But this way, I think he's a better centre back than he is a central midfielder. What are you saying about that, fam?
Yeah, that's no argument for me. I believe the same thing. I think the same thing.
So yeah, people, United fans, man, it'll be all right. Trust me. Like, the sky's not falling. Disappointing result, of course. Very disappointing against Sevilla. But the season's not over. The injuries are a kick in the teeth. I'm not going to lie. The injuries are a sick now, especially Martinez. That's
the one that hurts the most, man.
Kick in the teeth. However, with Shaw coming back, at least we have someone who is competent. I like Malacia at left back, Luke Shaw at left-sided centre back. Varane will be back, they're saying weeks. And bear in mind, people, what are we missing? I'm saying in that. What are we really missing in terms of games? Premier League, yeah. Brighton game, yeah. Other than that, what else? They'll be back when we make the FA Cup. When we make the Europa League semi-final. That's what I would say. Jesse says the defensive leadership is kind of gone. Yeah, but
still got Casemiro out there, so the leadership is there.
Yeah, man. I'm saying Varane probably not back till May. So that means he misses everything and he'll be back for I'm going to say I'm putting it out in the universe. Europa League semi-final, he'll be back for. I have no doubt. I got no qualms whatsoever. Zero. Well, what do you really trust Maguire and De Gea? No, but I trust our better players than the manager. That's where my confidence comes from. Multiple things. One, the better players we have. Two, the manager, and three, the competition. I don't rate the teams in this competition. I can't state that enough. Even if we were to go out to Sevilla, I'm not gonna sit here and be like Sevilla are a great side. No, you know what I'm saying in that. No, right? They're not. Oh, Marcel, now Barcelona are meaty. But before, see this agendas, man.
So Barcelona are meaty. What are Sevilla?
They're meaty now, innit? You know
if Barcelona are meaty, what are Sevilla?
Let people talk and then they'll reveal themselves, man. Now they're meaty. Now they're meaty, innit? Kind of nonsense, man. You know what I'm saying? Now they're meaty. See, people just switch. And Marcel, my guy, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stop entertaining him. We just be on bullshit. This is straight up bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, legit. I'm gonna stop entertaining, man. For real. Absolute just pure foolishness. Because before it was, but now I'm saying based on what everyone be saying, but you don't think they're meaty. You know what I'm saying? So either they're meaty or they're not. So you can't criticize Dennis for his team being behind him if you rate them because they're a good side, innit? It's because man just be running bants. You know what I'm saying? He be running jokes. Hella foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Let me change this. But yeah, Eddie, anything else you want to add? Because we are going to close out.
Nah, people, love for the love. Right? Stay strong with the squad, you dig? And we'll see y'all for these playoffs for sure. And for these United games coming up always,
100% people, 100%. So what we're going to do is we're going to go direct right now into the Q&A, people. We're going to go direct right now into the Sarcasm City Q&A. We're going to run that live. So that's what I've been doing. When you see me turn to the right and I'm on the laptop, I'm literally doing the thumbnail as we speak, people. That's what it is. So that's all. So we're going to go direct into that. So let me actually go live on here. I will do. Big up everyone. I don't think they're meaty. All right, so if you don't think they're meaty, you can't be ha-haing at Dennis and saying, oh, you're behind a meaty Barcelona team because you don't think they're meaty. That you think they're a good side. So this is where you get caught. See, people, when you're not consistent and you just try to run terrible jokes and terrible banter and terrible agendas, you get caught out. You know what I'm saying in that? True say, Marcel, you are always here. I'll give you that. Apart from when you got packed by Madrid, you always here. So I hear that. 110%. But yeah, what have we got coming up? Obviously the Q&A in a second, people. And then Saturday, Sunday, obviously return of the Premier League. So you will get tomorrow. I'm going to do Chelsea versus Brighton on the Twitch. Chelsea versus Brighton, and then the first NBA playoff watch along will be the Sacramento Kings versus the Golden State Warriors. So that's 1:30 a.m. UK time. All of the NBA watch alongs are on the Twitch, people. And then obviously Chelsea Brighton will be on the Twitch. Then Sunday you will get Nottingham Forest, West Ham versus Arsenal. So I'll be doing that watch along on the Twitch. Then we'll switch to the YouTube for the Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United game, and we'll be back here on Sunday for the Q&A. But yeah, man, big up to you lot, because even though it was a later time, you still, what's it called? You lot still showing up, man.
Y'all still showed up. We appreciate that, for real.
Facts. We really, really did. So literally, I'm going to start this live now, and it's going to direct and take all you lot over here. Flawless, you watch UFC? No, I'm a boxing guy. Jesse, ask me predictions for the Chelsea game in this next street. You can do that. Legit. But yeah, you lot take 5, you know what I'm saying? Get a drink, all that good stuff. And don't forget, this show is available on all audio platforms as well. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me actually start this live. See what we're doing, people. That's why I need help before we move. But love to everyone that's locked in. Jack says, love your shows, man. Always keeping it real. Yeah, man, it's the best, man. Marcel says, Eddie, that poster behind you is lit. Let me get that. Yeah, it's a fire.
I see what my aunt can do. Shout out to Auntie May.
Yeah. Shout out to Auntie, man. Love that. But yeah, love to everyone that's locked in. ManDem United podcast will be back Monday, people, 4:30 p.m. But catch you lot on the Q&A, because it's going to redirect you straight over there. So get in the comments, hit the likes, all that good stuff. Big up.